Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Going on our third week of freezing temperatures, I can't even get out to the garden. Today I want to talk about using marigolds and dill to manage insects in your garden. I don't believe wholeheartedly in companion planting, but there are a select few plants that work really well together. And one of those pairings are really your garden vegetables with dill and with marigolds. Let's go back inside. I'm going to explain to you the chemicals inside of these plants, how they manage pests in your garden, and really share with you my plan to grow hundreds of marigolds and dill plants and really populate my garden. And I invite you to try that experiment and do it along with me for this year and really see how it impacts the insects in your garden. I have noticed in the past the benefits of French marigolds in my garden, and I had a good amount, but not, a crazy amount. This year, I really want to load the garden up. I'm tired of whiteflies. They're supposed to really repel whiteflies from around your brassicas, specifically in my case, kale and collards. So I want to again stress that this is about the French marigolds. So you need French marigolds, not African marigolds. And these are the varieties that I selected. Lemon drop, and then a bunch down here are more dwarf varieties. A lemon drop, I think, grow like 2 feet tall. So with my plan, and I'm also using dill, they have the same volatile oil that the French marigolds have. I'll talk about that in a second. Using the mammoth for height, and then the bouquet, which is a little bit smaller. I'm going to put dwarf plants with my kale, or whatever my target vegetable plants would be if you're experimenting along with me, so that they sit low and below the leaves and create a scent around the plant. And then mixed in between, I'm going to have the taller plants to mask above the plants and really create a nice barrier using the essential oil that's in both of these, and that's limonene. I'll spell it out on the screen. It's limonene. It's a volatile oil, part of the essential oil, and I think, it makes up like average, 10-15% of the essential oils in these plants. What the oil does, what that scent does, is it masks the scent of the plants. So the collards, the kale, are harder for the flying insects to pick those plants out. This is not 100% foolproof. I grow all kinds of different flowers for beneficial insects. This year I'm adding in, like I was saying, a lot of dill, a lot of the marigolds. They will also attract beneficial insects. So if it doesn't really work well, I'm not losing out because it's going to bring in all kinds of great pollinators and predatory insects. But this is not a 100% fix. That's why I'm not all in on companion planting, because if there was a significant benefit, we'd all know about it. We'd plant this one plant, all the insects would stay away. But the French marigold and the dill will reduce and help you manage down, I think, damage from beetles and, in my case, from whiteflies. So the oil itself masks the scent of the plants. It's also kind of an olfactory response by the insects. They've learned over time that the essential oil in there can damage their exoskeleton, their waxy coating, and smother them. It's also a neurotoxin. It can kill them off. So over, thousands of years, the insects have learned to avoid plants that have that chemical in there. And that's what we're doing. We're putting in marigolds and dill that have the limonene in it to really repel and stop these insects from getting to our plants. If we were to make a spray out of it, orange oil is loaded with this chemical. You could spray and contact these insects that would kill them off. We're not doing a spray. We're just doing the companion planting. So I think the garden's going to look really cool with all these flowers, and it's going to reduce the population of whiteflies on my brassicas. The other thing that these do, I never have had root knot nematodes, but there is a chemical in the French marigolds, not in the dill, thiophene. Root knot nematodes come to the garden, they find the marigold roots, they think it's a host plant, they're attracted to it, they set up shop in the roots, and the thiophene kills them off. So they never take hold, they don't reproduce, they don't multiply. So it does manage root knot nematodes. If you get that, French marigolds would work for that. Dill roots I haven't found any research that says they help with the root knot nematodes, just the French marigolds. So just to be clear, we're using the French marigolds and the dill to manage whiteflies and beetles and other insects, and you can use the marigolds to manage root knot nematodes. I wanted to show you this now because it's only the middle of February. I'm not going to plant these until really maybe the middle of March, maybe towards the end of March. They only need about 6 weeks worth of growth in the cells, and then I will get them outside. Dill can manage a frost. Marigolds can't, but somewhere from, I don't know, March 15th to the end of April, I'm not going to really have a frost issue here in Maryland. The plants will be about 6 weeks old, depending, when they germinate, how much growth they get. But they're going to be perfect. Get them into the right soil temperature, they're going to take off. I don't want to show you this when I was doing the planting because I want you to be able to join the experiment with me. And, when it comes to planting time, I'll bring this video up again and I'll show you how I plant the marigolds and the dill. The dill I really like because I'm going to do a lot of pickling. So again, if this doesn't work, I'm going to have plenty of dill for pickling. For planting, marigolds are long seeds. They're kind of fragile. You don't want them to break. Let's see, get that in focus. That's what they look like. And what I do is, I did it here, I just do a quick thumb impression like that, and then I drop a single marigold seed into there, and then you would just cover it with your starting mix. Real straightforward. Kind of clean it up a little bit. I will link the video that shows you how I made the starting mix out of 2 products that you take right off the shelf. This is, I think, the best starting mix you can actually use. It's Jiffy Mix and Cocoa Core if you don't want to watch the video, but it works really, really well. Dill, smaller seeds. Marigolds germinate really well, so I just put 1 seed in there. I'm going to put in 2 dill seeds per hole, and for the dill, which I did right up here, I just take, the end of a pencil, maybe a 1/4 inch deep, and drop 2 seeds into there. I'm going to do, this is a flat with the 6 cells. I sell these at my seed and garden shop. If you're just doing the cells, the standard small cells, that's 72 plants. I'm probably going to do 4 or 5 flats, mostly marigolds and dill, and really put them throughout my garden. So do as many as you want, but just be thinking that you really want to concentrate the marigolds around your target plants. You really want that scent to be around there. You don't just want one and then you have like 3 or 4 kale plants. That's not going to work. I think you probably need like 2 plants per kale plant. So it'll be 2 marigolds, and then I'm going to have my tall one in there. Let me show you on a piece of paper my general plan for how I'm going to plant with them. But, 6 weeks before, you're ready to put these out into the garden, go ahead and get them started. The kale, the brassicas, and all that, they're going to be started before you bring the marigolds out. That's okay, because the insects don't really come till later. But the sooner you can get the marigolds mixed in with your garden plants, the better. This is just, for principle, general design, you can, adapt it as you wish for your garden. So what I want to do is just first show you what a planting row will look like. So that's going to be a kale plant or collard every 18 to 24 inches. Circle, 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 circle. That's my 4 collard plants. In between, right along the row, I'm going to do a dwarf marigold. That's the X. Dwarf marigold, all the way down. So you can see with the X's and O's, the dwarf marigold is right, pretty close to the kale. I mean, how close you get's really up to you. But it's a lot of plants right along there with them. So that's going to allow the scent of the marigold to kind of float under and around the smaller plant. This was a little bit harder to see. I'll make it more clear in a second. Then in between rows, there's going to be a tall dill, smaller dill, tall marigold, smaller dill, taller dill. And that would look like this. So just consider this be a row of the small marigolds and the kale or collards, and then 2 feet, 24 inches, 60 centimeters down is another row of collards and the small marigolds, just like this row up here, would be here and here. And then in between those, I'm going to have the large dill, small dill, tall marigold right in there, small dill, large dill. So it is a lot of plants in that space, but they're spaced out really well. You may have to fertilize them a little more, water a little bit more, but I don't think so. it's going to create a really nice scent around what I'm targeting, my kale and my collards, to keep those whiteflies away. And, adjust this as you wish. There's no research saying it needs to be this exact number of plants. But what I want to do is I want it to be dense enough that it really confuses the insects. And if the insects are coming in, there's a chance they're going to be landing on the wrong plants and just really maximize the limonene oil scent from the marigolds and from the dill. For the root knot nematodes, I think you'd want to be planting, around your plant. So if that was your plant that has, the root knot nematodes, you do a marigold, a marigold, a marigold here, and a marigold on the other side. That you'd really want to get those roots around the plant that you want to protect. And hopefully this, hand-drawn map, that's why I'm not the rusted garden or the rusted artist, I guess. Hopefully this map gives you some idea of how to set it up. But that's generally what I'm going to do. And I do encourage you guys to experiment. So maybe, you don't have to grow hundreds of marigolds like I am, but grow a handful and maybe protect certain plants and see how they repel insects over the season. And if they seem to work or you seem to have better results using the marigolds, you could do more the following year. There are a lot of different varieties you can choose from. Again, make sure it's French marigolds. Unfortunately, I don't sell these at my seed and garden shop. I do have Mammoth Dill there, but the other seeds I just picked up at different big box stores. So for marigolds that are going to be under 12 inches, I have the Dainty Marietta, Naughty Marietta, Dwarf Bolero, and the Queen Sophia. For marigolds that are going to be 2 feet and taller, the Red Metamorph and the Lemon Drop. And then the two varieties of dill are Mammoth and Bouquet. Bouquet being smaller, Mammoth being exactly how it sounds, very tall. So I'm going to use a mixture of these seeds to populate my garden. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. I sell tomato and pepper seeds, $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50, and I sell peppermint oil, rosemary oil, and neem oil there. Organic ways to manage pests in your garden. I am adding in the marigolds, the limonene. You can also buy orange oil. I don't sell that, but you can buy orange oil. And that is a high concentration of limonene, and people make a spray out of that, and they do actually spray their plants. That could be something you might want to look into. Maybe I'll do an experiment on that this year later. But right now it's planting marigolds and dill to really help protect your garden from infestations of whiteflies and other insects. Again, thanks so much for watching.